Hey YouTube, this is Gracie and welcome back to Card-tober, a series in which I show you how to make a Disney bounding Halloween card every day of the month of October. And this is the very first week of Card-tober, and I've decided to do a week of Disney villains. This is day 3 of the week of villains, and today's card is Disney bounding as Dr.Facilier from The Princess and the Frog. This movie definitely is one of my all-time favorite Disney princess movies, and Tiana just so happens to be my number 3 favorite Disney princess. But we're not talking about Disney princesses today. No, this is Halloween. We are talking about villains. So Dr. Facilier, he is the voodoo man in the movie, and he is awesome. He's dressed quite appropriately for a villain. He's very dark and mysterious. And yeah, let's get started by showing you a little bit about this card. So I chose most of the colors from his outfit, and I went a little bit ahead of myself here and decided to do kind of like a snake skin, crocodile skin background. I've had this cardstock in my collection, and I say mine, but I mean my mom and I's collection, for quite some time. And I've been saving it to use either for Captain Hook or something else. And today is that something else. It's perfect for Dr. Facilier, especially since it's in New Orleans and there's all kinds of snakes and crocs and all kinds of creepy things there hiding in the swamps. So that's why I decided to use this background, and it was a perfect color. It's like that purpley maroon color that he wears. I've also done a kind of pinky purple back here because that's also another color in his outfit. Of course, the red ribbon, which represents the belt that he has, and I did some black in there to represent his hat. And I kind of liked the shape of this die cut that I decided to use because it also kind of resembles a top hat. And then I've done the skull and crossbones to, you know, obviously show the design that he has on the top hat as well. So on the corners here, you'll notice, I hope you can notice, there are 2 green little brads here, and these are obviously to represent the frogs in the movie. On the inside, I did a purple sphere because that is the color of the sphere at the top of his staff. I feel like a lot of these Disney villains have some sort of staff and a sphere on top of it, and everything there's circles on all of these villains. It's crazy the amount of circles that you find on all of these Disney villains. So I've decided to do the skull and crossbones again on the inside and Happy Halloween as the sentiment. On the back side, I did my typical G stamp, which is my logo on all of my handmade cards, and I just hand wrote in voodoo because I wanted to write it and I couldn't find a better stamp, so I just hand wrote that. So let me go ahead and show you all of the materials that I used to make it. Like I said, I used sort of a snake / crocodile designed cardstock, and it's like kind of, I don't know, thin. On the back side it's like very brown. It's kind of awesome. I'm hoping to be able to find some more of this stuff. It's been in my craft room for a long time, so I don't know where I got it, but it's really cool. I love it. I used this stamp set here, Toil and Trouble, which I'm going to be continuing to use because I'm planning on doing some Harry Potter as well as some Hocus Pocus cards, so this will be a perfect stamp set to continue on using. And this is from Stampin' Up. I used just the little skull and crossbones down here. The little sentiment here, Happy Halloween, is again from Stampin' Up, and it's the Jar of Haunts set. I used the Spellbinders Nestabilities Labels 10 die cut to die cut the black cardstock. And last but not least, the actual skull and crossbones I got from this Cricut cartridge, and it is from Happy Hauntings. And this Cricut cartridge I think I'm using on like all of my Halloween cards this month because there's a little bit of everything in here. And in my next video, maybe I'll tell you a little bit more about that cartridge and show you all the options it has. Let me go ahead and get started by showing you my card size that I am using. It is a 5.5 by 4 inch card, And on the inside, I've already die cut or hole punched my 2.8 inch circle from Fiskars. This is the punch that I used. It's got a little window back here, and you just take out the little circle that you've punched out. Then I stamped my sentiment and the skull and crossbones inside already, as well as did my G stamp and wrote voodoo on the back. So the next layer is your pinky purple color, and this is the exact size of the card, so that would be 5.5 by 4 inches. Let's go ahead and glue that down right now, and I'm going to be using my Tombow multi-liquid glue for that. If you guys are new to this channel, hit that subscribe button, because all month I'm going to be doing cards, not just Disney cards. I'm going to be doing some Harry Potter cards, some Hocus Pocus cards, and a couple other new things that I have not done on my channel, as well as some DIYs. I don't want to give it all away. I want it to be a bit of a surprise. So stay tuned for all of that. Go ahead and place that down. And using liquid glue helps a lot, so you can reposition the background if you don't have it exactly on the card correctly. The next layer is about, I think, 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch smaller than the purple color. And this is the crocodile snaky skin type cardstock. And we are actually not going to glue that one down. We are going to tape it down, because this sort of cardstock really shows the bumps and stuff of the liquid glue. So I'm using my Scotch Advanced Tape Glider on this one. Just gonna hold down the trigger and swipe it across here. So yeah, like I said, today is day 3 of Card-tober. Yesterday we did the Evil Queen from Snow White, and the day before I did a Maleficent card, and I'll be linking a playlist down at the end of the video. And oops, and this will be added to the playlist as well. So in the future, you can come back and watch this again if you want. I love this card. I just love to feel this cardstock too. It's very soft. The next layer is your ribbon, and this ribbon is, let's see, unlined red organza ribbon, and I've used this on a few other cards that I've done, and I've done it a little bit longer than the card. That's kind of something I like to do, and then I've just done some rough edges at the ends. We're just going to place that down. Use a little bit of liquid glue, because in the center you're not going to see the ribbon, so when the glue goes through it you're not going to see it, because the black cardstock is going to go over it. Speaking of which, you're going to die cut your, I guess, top hat inspired cardstock here, and glue this down. This Tombow glue is very sticky, so you want to make sure that you don't use too much, because if it oozes out the sides, it's going to leave your card very sticky. And just place that right in the center of your card. I think that's about the center. Might have to move it a little bit. So even up right here, this is going to be very sticky when it dries. So just be careful not to have that happen. Okay. And then the next step is to put down your skull and crossbones, which is, I think, my second favorite part of this card, just because it's kind of like a pirate. Let me know in the comments section down below which character from The Princess and the Frog is your favorite. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Right there in the center. Yay, perfect. All right. The next thing I did was I took the actual bones, and I say quote bones because these are actually the letters from the cartridge. So I don't know if I have any of the pictures of that, but these are some of the options. There's a bunch of letters in here, and I used the vampire font, and I think this was supposed to be like an eye or something. And we're just going to glue this down as well. So I got a little bit creative there, and they didn't really have the skull and crossbones as a whole die cut kind of thing, or option rather. So I just kind of made it work. And we're just going to kind of frame that a bit, put it at an angle, but I also really liked having that part of the bone close to the skull there. And I didn't think it mattered that it did not look like an actual bone. I just thought it looked kind of trippy and cool. So the next thing I did, oops, I actually put these on the wrong side. I put some pop dots on the other bone, and then we're just going to have that be raised off the card. And I just kind of put the pop dots, or square, 3D square adhesives, rather, on the joints. What I'm calling the joints. All right, and there you go, there you have it. Let me go ahead and show you how I did this last little bit here. The little brads in the corners, all you'll need to do is poke some holes and put your brads through. Let me see if I can get them out of my bag here. I'll just show you how I did one of them because the video is getting a little bit long. I'm actually going to use this tool. I don't really know what it's actually for, but I'm going to use it. It's the Tonic Studios Tim Holtz, and it's a very sharp, pointy tool. So I'm going to use it for this. And just put it in the corner. Oops, I already put it on the card. I just realized that. Thankfully, since I used liquid glue, it hasn't quite dried yet. So you can still poke a hole in there and put your brad through. Uh-oh, I almost lost it. Put that through, or try to. Darn, I forgot this step. Oh well. So you can see how I've put that through, and then you're just going to pry the backs apart, or try to. Well, okay. It's going to not like me right now because I'm trying to be quick about it. There you go. That works. Yay! So you'll want to do that on the top and on the bottom. If you want to, you don't actually have to. I just thought it was kind of cool, a finishing touch for the card, but also to reference the two frogs. So there you have it. There is your Disney Bounding Dr. Facilier from The Princess and the Frog card. Whew, that was a long one. I hope you guys stay tuned for more cards headed your way. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. By the way, happy Halloween. Bye.